motion to revoke probation that was filed on May 8th of 2025.
Yes.
Those were 1 through 5.
In a Texas courtroom, a man is back before the judge after breaking the rules of his probation. He had already been given a chance, but now he's facing serious consequences again. The court explains that he failed to report, left the county without permission, and kept violating probation rules. This time, there is no deal to protect him. The judge warns him clearly his probation can be revoked, and he could be sent to prison for up to 10 years. His past crimes and drug use make the situation even worse. Now the judge must decide, does he get another chance, or is it finally time for prison?
And he failed to it says he failed to report and failed to remain in Jefferson County, Texas. Subsequent to that hearing, an amended motion to revoke probation was filed last week.
Okay.
Which includes, let me see, it's different, 6 and 7, which are failing to report to the Jefferson County Courthouse for judicial review on or about November 14th of last year, and failing to report to the probation office for November 18th, 2025 in violation of his probation. And let's see, what did I do? And yeah, this 24 CR 1181, that's a second case along with 1178. There is nothing admonishing or showing that there were any pleas of truth to that amended motion.
Well, the amendment
But
was new, you're
there
right.
was an earlier motion to revoke probation, as in the previous case we just talked about, where he pleaded true to allegations 1 and 5 in a motion to revoke probation that was accomplished in a hearing on June 23rd of 2025. So what do we do today?
I think we get his pleas on the new allegations.
Yeah. Okay.
He's already played true to the other ones.
So, and what's happening then?
I think it's up to you.
Oh, there's not an agreement?
No, it's not.
Okay, all right. 24 CR 1178 and 1180 were both called, the state of Texas versus Ryan Taylor Leax. Is that you, sir? Yes, and you're here with Mr. West, your attorney, the state's attorney is here. Does the defendant waive formal readings to these amended motions to revoke probation in these two cause numbers, 1178 and 1180? And can we proceed in summary?
Yes, we can. Your Honor.
And once again, these are amended motions to revoke probation that were filed on March 24th of 2026, a week ago. Does the defendant waive any additional time under law he may have to prepare and consult with his attorney on this? And do y'all want to just move forward today?
I believe so, Your Honor. We were discussing this last time. We broke for the state to file the amended information, but we knew about it already.
Do you want to proceed today, sir? Right. Yes, you have to speak out. So, yeah, there you go. She has to take it down. She can't take a nod. She has to take a voice sound. All right. We're going to take up these amended motions. They say this same allegations of wrongdoing. There are differences, though, minor differences in that these are the same crimes, the same dates he committed the burglaries, and I think it's the same. Let's see. March 7th. No, there are different dates that the burglaries were committed, but they're two different burglaries of buildings. They are state jail felonies, and he was placed on probation on the same date in each. So in each of these cases, does the defendant waive a formal reading of the amended motions to revoke probation in each case? Cause numbers 24 CR 1178 and 1180. Can we proceed in summary?
We can, Your Honor, yes.
Mr. Leax, please raise your right hand. There you go. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statement you make during this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
Lower your hand. In summary, each of these motions similarly state that on September 16th, 2024, in this criminal district court of Jefferson County, Texas, you were sentenced to 10 years in prison, and that was suspended in each case, and you were placed on regular probation for 10 years for burglaries of a building, a burglary of a building in each case. They were separate dates, but they're different offenses at different times. Is Do you understand what this is stating? And is all of that true and correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
What did you miss? Everything? No.
Why is she really down there for some reason?
The seven. Number one states you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office on or about September 25th, 2025 in violation of condition 4 of your probation order, which is to report regularly. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
You failed. What's this about, this indecency with a child? Out of Harris County, Texas. Passing on that?
Yeah, we'll pass.
Pass on that? Is that right, everybody?
We don't-
Yes, sir.
We don't need
All
that.
right.
but-
5,
Sure.
you failed to remain in Jefferson County, Texas, and that you were you were in Harris County, Texas on or about March 15th, 2025 without permission of the probation office here in Jefferson County. Is that true in each case? Allegation 5.
True.
And finally, one more here.
You're solid.
This states that you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office on or about November 18th, 2025. And this is violation 7 in each case, and that's in violation of your probation order, which is to regularly report. Is that true?
Yes, sir. True.
Are you pleading true to allegations 1, 5, and 7 of these motions to revoke probation in each of these cases? Voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and because those allegations are true in each case.
Yes, sir.
You understand that a voluntarily and knowingly made plea of truth in one or more violations of probation and a motion to revoke probation, that is enough to grant a motion to revoke probation. Your probation can hereby be revoked and you can be sentenced up to the full range of punishment here. This is a second-degree felony. You are looking at no less than 2 nor more than 20 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed in each case. Do you understand the punishment range?
Yes, sir.
Knowing all of this, do you insist on pleading true today?
Yes, sir.
I find you are pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true.
Your Honor,
Do we have an agreement?
no, but
And over
it's 10. Maximum punishment is 10 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
okay, that's what
I was looking at deferred. You're,
Yeah, it's not deferred. It's not deferred.
the punishment range in each case, and let me repeat that. The punishment range, because you were sentenced, this was not deferred adjudicated probation, it's regular probation. You were sentenced to 10 years in prison. That was probated for 10 years. So it's capped at a maximum of 10 years in each case. So you are looking at actually no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement in prison on each case. Knowing that, you insist on pleading truth nonetheless.
Yes, sir.
I find you are pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true. There's no agreement here?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, so he's not waiving any bill then, or is he? He's not?
He just got it right on.
Okay, you have a right to appeal whatever happens here. But go ahead, state, you may begin and end.
I reserve my time for
You
final.
waive
and judgment.
opening, okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, this is a situation you have anywhere from 2 to 10 years. I would suggest somewhere towards the low to middle range, based on the original offenses and based on the fact that he certainly pled true to the administrative violations. The new offenses will rise and fall and follow, and be taken care of Harris County. But I'd recommend something in
What's
that.
happening? Are those cases pending in Harrisville?
It's been disposed.
No, I got time served for it. So it was, I was naked on the side of the highway. And then
You were what?
I was naked on the side of the highway and then.
Well, that'll get people's attention.
Yeah, and they had a child in the car and they called the police and they said indecency in front of a child because there's a car.
What do you think?
And I was on the side of the highway.
That's logical, isn't it?
They gave me time served, 45 days.
Yeah. Oh, no, but they got children in cars too. My goodness.
Yes, sir.
What were you doing?
I was high on meth. I was high on meth and I was taking off my clothes.
Well, you know, that's not an legal excuse.
Yes, sir.
You're getting more of that. It makes you do squirrely things.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you don't act like a human being, a responsible human being when you're ingesting that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Plus, you don't know where it's coming from.
Yes, sir.
We've got some people who have been on this docket who have died because they thought, well, what's the harm of it? I'll try it. And then they dropped dead.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, they dropped dead like in seconds after they took it because it was. How much time is he after credited if you can? See, you got in trouble with methamphetamine in the first place.
Yes, sir.
This was on this April 8th incident. Did the victims get their chainsaws back? They were pawned off at Triangle Pawn. In your criminal history here, I've got this like you had a burglary of a habitation in Harris County. You were on probation. That was revoked. You got 2 years in 2014. Then there was an assault of a family member out of Harris County. You got 2 years. And this says IS. I'm not sure what IS stands for.
Intensive supervision.
Intensive supervision. Then in 2017, there was an arson and you get 2 years. And it looks like 2 years in prison for that in 2018. Then in 2019, you were placed on probation for attempt to commit escape while arrested or confined out of Bexar County. And your probation was ultimately revoked and you received 10 months and 17 days in the state jail. I wonder how they got that. Come up with that. A burglary of a building in this case, and a burglary of a building. So those are your felonies. Then in the misdemeanors, we'd go in 2014, 60 days in jail for criminal trespass convictions, not counting these two convictions. So it looks like you got 6 felonies. And he's got about a year credit. Okay. All right. With that in mind, go ahead. Stay.
Were you done?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
he's done.
Judge, for whatever reason, the defendant's life has led him to become homeless and transient. And I think in trying to survive that lifestyle, he has turned to drugs as well as crime. And so to keep the defendant safe as well as the community safe from the lifestyle he's chosen to live, I'm going to ask that the court sentence him something to the higher end and something closer to the 10 years.
Anything else?
No.
Did you want to say anything, sir? This is your time.
Think. No, I'm pretty much content with whatever.
Well, what do you plan to do with your life when all of this is behind you?
What I plan to do with my life when all
I mean,
behind me.
Are you going to make the world a better place?
Oh, absolutely.
You haven't up to now, though. I mean, it's a consistent pattern of misbehavior.
Well, from when I was 20 years old until I was 26, I was clean and sober, and I was living in San Antonio. And and then my dad picked me up and brought me home. And then when I got home, I lived at home and I became familiar with the homeless community and doing drugs. And then so from 26 to 30, I fell off and I started doing drugs again. But from 20 to 26, after my escape case, I was clean and sober for 6 years in San Antonio. So I mean, moving to a place like that would
What caused you to fall off the wagon?
my dad was actually he violated his parole and then he went off to jail and then he left me.
What was he on parole for?
He's a sex offender. He's like something. I don't know what his case is, but he was a sex offender and he got a blue warrant.
Okay, he wasn't a good role model.
Yeah,
Like you said, a bad example. But you've come to know and understand that
Mhm.
and appreciate it. You're making your own decisions though right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Versus good and evil, not because of your dad. It's bad behavior, but your behavior, which isn't good. Or are you fixing that?
Yes, sir. I'm working on it.
Well, what's your plan though?
Well, right now I stay on suicide precautions, and because I hear a lot of voices, I've got a lot of mental disorders, and I stay on suicide precautions in the
How
cell.
long were you on meth?
Oh, I was on meth from 17 to 20, and then I was sober for 6 years, and then from like 28 to 30, probably.
Well, don't you think long-term methamphetamine use, because you don't know where you're not buying it from a doctor. You're getting it off the street and
Yes, sir.
God knows what's in it.
Mhm.
I mean, that's going to, see, you don't know. They're putting stuff in that can kill you.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, people are dropping dead
Yes, sir.
with some of this stuff. Well, that's like putting a gun to your head, spinning the barrel, and no, that's just no way to live. You just don't know when that bullet's going to come out of there next. Yeah. Anyway, that's you got to live. I'm not telling you this that you don't know, but you got to live in a responsible way, not a life-threatening way,
Yes, sir.
and then get a family and have a family and be a good example.
Yes, sir.
Is that a plan?
Yes,
That
sir.
sounds like a great plan to me.
Yes, sir.
But you're going to end up having to pay for this, and then you can move on
Yes, sir. Okay.
and do better.
Yes, sir.
If nothing further, I'm going to find in each of these cases, which, by the way, are cause numbers 24 CR 1178 and 1180. The defendant was convicted of the state jail felonies of burglary of a building in each case, but he was sentenced to 10 years in prison, and that was probated for 10 years. And that is not a state jail felony punishment, but because he had two or more prior convictions, he was punished. That's each of these indictments. Yeah, those were subsequent convictions. Burglary of a habitation, 2014, out of Harris County. After that became final, and he committed assault on a family member, third degree, and was convicted of that out of the 176th District Court of Harris County, Texas, in 2018. So this was a state jail felony, but it was punished as though it were second degree felony. So you were looking at up to 20 years in prison, but it's capped at 10 over 10. So we were looking at no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement in prison. Once again, I'm going to find that the defendant has pleaded true in these amended motions to revoke probation in each of these two cases, to allegations 1, 5, and 7, failing to report to the probation office on or about September 25th, 2025, in violation of this probation order, failing to remain in Jefferson County, Texas, and that he was in Harris County without permission of the Jefferson County Probation Office, and failing to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office all on or about September 25th, 2025, March 15th, 2025, and November 18th, 2025, respectively, as to allegations 1, 5, and 7 in each of these cases. Thus, that is enough to grant these motions to revoke probation by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, actually beyond a reasonable doubt. This court finds as well in all cases in these matters, your probation is hereby revoked, and you were hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 7 years in each of these cases. These are not aggravated matters, so you're going to be parolable in 1/4 of the time you've been, which is approximately a little less than 2 years. You've gotten credit for a year, it looks like already. So you're well on your way toward parole, but there'll be some more time you're going to have to spend before they release you. Please do better in the future and make a better life.
Yes, sir.
In each of these cases, good luck.
The judge finally makes the decision, probation is revoked, and he is sent to prison for 7 years. A second chance was given before, but this time, it's over. Do you think the judge made the right call, or should he have been given another chance?